So please welcome this week's special guest, Sean. So, Raj, what is Sean to you?
This is Sean. I used to whip his shirt off in public for money.
Right, Raj's bare-chested buddy. Gemma, how do you know Sean?
This is Sean, and at school he blew up my Wotsits.
Right, Gemma's crisp combustor. And finally, David, what is your relationship with Sean?
This is Sean. As a boy, I would only let him cut my hair if he was dressed as Zorro.
So there we have it. Raj's bare-chested buddy, Gemma's crisp combustor, or David's heroic hairdresser. Lee's team, where will you begin?
OK, Raj, you used to rip his shirt off for money.
Yep.
When was this?
Back in the early 80s.
Well, let's just get straight to the point. What the hell are you talking about? Why did you rip his shirt off for money?
Well, I'm a bit of a keen amateur magician.
Oh, hello. Where did you learn this? On top of a bicycle?
But I also owned a bistro, so it allowed me...
Oh, hello. Snow, what's it going to
What a life you've led!
And because I had the bistro, it allowed me to indulge my passion of magic. So I used to hold magic evenings where we'd give them dinner and then we'd do close-up magic and then we'd end up doing a little bit of a cabaret.
So what was the trick that involved you ripping off his shirt?
Well, it was the finale to the cabaret act.
What was the finale?
Ripping his shirt off.
That's not a trick, that's assault.
Talk us through it, Raj. We've come to your bistro and we've had a super evening. The food is lovely.
Yep.
And then, oh, hang on, what's happening now?
Yeah, I would ask for a volunteer to come out.
Right.
And lots of people would put their hands up, but I would choose Sean.
Oh, he was
He was my stooge.
So you're telling me that the regulars used to go, that fella's in again. He's having a terrible night. Wait till the end of the night and you see what happens. It gets worse. Every week he falls for this, the poor fella. I'm a viewer. Don't tell me how it's done. As a viewer, what would I have seen?
You would have seen my volunteer come out, and I would sit him down on a chair. I would tell him to relax. I would undo some buttons.
And would you take it, like, from the collar and just go whoosh and it would come off?
Yeah, something like that.
Did it ever go wrong? Did you ever, like, take his nose off?
Well, we had a few incidents.
What happened when it went wrong?
Well, he's the third stooge I've had.
All right, who would you like to quiz next?
Gemma?
Gemma.
OK. So he blew up your Wotsits, the little snack. Was it a very strict school?
Yeah, I was at school. He was my teacher, and I was being naughty by eating in the back of the room, just being a bit of a troublemaker.
How did he blow it up?
Well, he was in the middle of doing an experiment, and then he made an example of me by taking the packet to the front of the room where this experiment was happening and, like, sprayed it with, a dry oxygen or something, like some sort of steamy thing. The Bunsen burner was going, and then they just, went poof!
Just by heating them up?
Yeah. But, it was
blow?
something to do with what was sprayed, like, this kind of...
Yeah.
Petrol.
Yeah. And then everybody was laughing, and then he said, that's what will happen if you eat Wotsits.
Did it stop you from eating in class? Did it have the desired effect?
It had the desired effect, and we got on a lot more after that as well.
It broke the ice.
Yeah.
Suddenly it was Dead Poets Society.
What's his surname?
Smith.
Smith?
Yeah.
Oh. How did you just think of that like that?
Does Smiths make what? No, it's Golden Wonder, isn't it?
I think Golden Wonder sold Wotsits, I think, to Walkers. I think it was a major corporate error because they were losing market share in their crisps, but they had this Wotsits brand, and then on some dark day they decided to sell that brand, and then they were left with nothing. And that shows you the kind of error that can be made at a corporate level. So we should be careful before we believe that these corporations are sort of magical and the private sector can do things. And before we sell the NHS down the river, remember the idiocy of Golden Wonder.
OK, now then, what about David? Just remind us, David.
As a boy, I would only let Sean cut my hair if he was dressed as Zorro.
It doesn't seem very worth his while. What was the kind of... How much were you paying him to dress as Zorro for this one haircut?
To be honest, I was a child. I didn't pay him.
This is the bit I doubt, that David was a child ever. Did you go asking for Zorro? Was it just an optional thing he used to put on the board? As Zorro, an extra £3.
I think my parents requested Zorro.
What?
Why?
Well, because I was nervous about having a haircut. I think I was about 5, something like that. And I think they'd had an awkward experience with me freaking out at a previous hairdressing encounter.
Yeah, it makes sense. So let's
deciding-
calm him down by getting someone to do it with a blindfold whilst I'm holding a big sharp knife.
Well, let's remind ourselves. Here's Zorro. Have a look. Is that how he would dress up?
As far as I remember, he had a black hat and a black mask.
My God, this show's taken a sort of let's help David turn, hasn't it? So tell us what you look like. Well, here's a picture of him.
Which you genuinely otherwise have thought I hadn't heard of Zorro.
No, but you might have got it wrong.
Well, just, yeah, you know, he wore the classic Zorro fireman's helmet and a stethoscope.
So how old were you?
5, I think. Might have been 6, I'm not sure.
How old was he, approximately?
How old was he?
Don't look at him.
You can't stop me looking at him. I think he was in his 20s.
Right, so let's be kind and say 21. So therefore he's 15 years older than you at that time.
Yeah.
You're saying this man is 15 years older than you.
And how old are you? 47.
Approximately the same age to me, that man.
OK.
Paint a picture for us. Young Master David is going to the high street to the barber's, unaware of the great fame and glory that lies ahead of him. For now, he's just a small boy.
Yes.
What happens?
I can't remember the details, but broadly, I was very nervous about going to hairdressers.
I don't want to go in, Mummy. No.
I
want to go home and write with my crayons. I'm going to write a satirical look back at the week that's just happened. My friends in playgroup are telling me I'm quite the wit.
I mean, I was probably unbearable, you're right. You know, I contemplate that every day.
You say unbearable, I say adorable.
Thank you. I don't remember the details. What's that?
Sending you a heart.
Oh, is that a heart? I thought that was saying, remember your kidneys.
Right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team is Sean, Raj's bare-chested buddy, Gemma's crisp combustor, or David's heroic hairdresser.
I'm struggling with David's here a little bit.
Yes. So Gemma's Wotsits. That's very believable. That's the kind of thing a kind of wacky science teacher would do to
It is very
passion
believable
in science.
And what's unbelievable is the idea that... Now, Raj...
Have you left the gas on?
Raj, show us a trick.
If I could have half an hour
Yeah.
and the use of the internet, I'm sure I could do that.
Oh, yeah, but what did you think the question was? I don't know, what do you think?
I think he does look a lot like a science teacher. I think Gemma's telling the truth.
So we're going to say Gemma.
Yeah.
Gemma?
I'm saying it's Gemma. OK, right. So, Sean, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Sean, and Raj used to whip my shirt off for money.
Yes, Sean is Raj's bare-chested buddy, and we can now see the trick. So, you're going to need to wear masks for this, please. Sean, if you...
Zorro masks!
You take a position there in the chair, and then over to you, Raj.
Well, I would simply get Sean out as my stooge. We'd act as if we didn't know each other. I'd say, good evening, how are you? And I would undo his wrist button, and then I would undo this button. And then, as you can see, I'd undo this button. And then, all I'd say is, on the count of 3, we'd say some magic words. And tonight, they are, would I lie to you? So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Would I lie to you?
Oh, hang on. What's happened? I've nearly killed him.
I've been having a breakdown. I'm actually Gemma's science dish. The noise was the best bit.
30 years since we've done it.
I just got pictures of him 30 years ago, just coming in every week going, can you please do it right this time?
It was the second poll. You decided to go again was the coolest bit. Why did you keep going?
Thank God you didn't cut him in half.
Is Sean all right?
Who cares?
Raj!
He's fine.
I love the idea that he had to put masks on for safety reasons. And then almost took his head off.